The road to a sugarcane farm is never ending. The story of the sugar industry is so ingrained into the story of the Filipino people that both find roots 4,000 years before the Christian era, when vessels from Celebes brought sugar cuttings to Mindanao, which eventually spread north to the Visayan Islands and Luzon. The amorphous sugar squeezed from sugarcane stalks has sweetened the palate of humankind so much that it fueled one of the largest industries of the world, and by virtue of demand, also in the Philippines. From clay pot cottage industry to sugar plantations in large sugar estates to the construction of sugar mills and refineries, the greatly expanded sugar trade contributed substantially to the world's sugar requirement and the country's earnings. It has been nation building at the expense of so much hard work and labor. This is where the story of stewardship began, and the name was SIFI. The Sugar Industry Foundation Incorporated, or SIFI, was conceived as a symbol of corporate social responsibility at a time when the sugar industry was calling for social relief. SIFI was established to provide a formal institutional medium to initiate, sponsor, finance, and assist socio-economic development projects for the benefit of sugar workers and their dependents. The vision of SIFI is to build stable and self-reliant sugar-producing and milling communities. In other words, SIFI brought a gift of futures to those who had a hard time holding on to their dreams. SIFI was born in 1971 as a response to the mandate of the law that the sugar industry takes care of its own. The first is the Sugar Act of 1952, which regulated the relations among persons engaged in the sugar industry. It provided that proceeds of any increase in the milling participation granted to planters and above their present share shall be divided between the planters and their laborers in the plantation. The Social Amelioration Program was created to provide for mandatory payment of a stabilization fee that would benefit the workers. The SAP, or SAP, was further strengthened by the passage of the Sugar Amelioration Act of 1991, with the provision of additional monetary and welfare benefits for sugar workers and with the institutionalization of a tripartite approach in policy formulation and program development and implementation. Section 7 provides that an initial lien of 5 pesos shall be imposed on the gross production of sugar.
The Social Amelioration Program is basically funded by the sugarcane producers themselves.
Who are involved? Organized labor, sugarcane producers, sugar millers, the Department of Labor, which administers the Social Amelioration Fund.
And then of course, we have SIFI, the Sugar Industry Foundation Incorporated, which serves as the vehicle for the implementation of the program.
Farmers must find ways to improve productivity and lower production costs. Government must strengthen its programs to assist the farmers, and the sugar industry has to support and continue its research and development programs.
Various sectors have come up with strategies to soften the impact of the Asian Free Trade Agreement, or AFTA, on sugar-producing provinces and on the Philippine sugar industry as a whole.
SIFI is bracing for this future. We have implemented programs which we feel will help the sugarcane communities for AFTA.
At 45 years, SIFI is presently in Luzon, Panay, Negros, Eastern Visayas, and Mindanao, covering 27 sugar mills, 3 sugar federations, ConFed, Luzon Fed, Panay Fed, and 67 planters associations.
SIFI was born out of the concern of the sugar producers to address the needs of their sugar workers. At the time, it became evident to me that the 10 pesos per pickle, it was not enough, and it could not really address the needs of all the workers. So I started to leverage the funds of SIFI and asked the international donors such as the USAID, the US Department of Labor, the Association of Foundations to help me in assisting our beneficiaries.
SIFI focuses on the overall growth and well-being of sugar-producing and milling areas. As such, the principal targets of its development efforts are sugar workers and their dependents and the communities in which they live. Hence, the foundation builds on the 4 pillars of development.
We believe that education is the best avenue for change. The Educational Aid Program, or EDAP, is our flagship program.
We have the Enterprise and Skills Development Program for unemployed dependents or displaced sugar workers. This program aims to provide additional income for the workers and their families.
SIFI has 3 essential programs for our beneficiaries. We have our healthcare programs, which covers outpatient and hospitalization benefits.
The Sugarcane Technician course is a comprehensive course on sugarcane farm management techniques. It teaches students on basic farm production methods in cultivation, planting, and harvesting, as well as concepts on labor laws and financial management.
One of the provisions is the classification of children into 2 categories. Those who are below 15 years old are prohibited from working in the sugarcane fields. Those between 15 and 17 years old may work in the fields, but only during weekends.
Family wellness of our beneficiaries is an integral goal of SIFI. We believe that a healthy family is an economically stable family.
I like to think of SIFI as the great equalizer for education. Think about all the successful children in school. You begin to think that if the poor were also given the same chance and opportunity, they would excel as well. And that's what's being proven in SIFI. Many of our graduates have become successful chemists, engineers, teachers, nurses, even cooks, welders, and the like. They excel in their fields because we provided them with the access to education, to higher learning, and to the means by which they can hone their skills. Under the SIFI Health Program, we are able to narrow the gap between the sugar laborers' access to affordable medicines and also to hospitalization whenever anyone in their family gets sick. We have established boticas sa barangays. We provide medical missions and dental missions, which gives free consultations, dental extractions, and other medical services in the local sugar communities. SIFI provides livelihood assistance. By doing this, what we try to encourage them is to look for sustainable enterprises. They either have to have bio-intensive garden in their own backyard so that they can sustain their families, and if there are also extra vegetables to be sold, they have some income, no? But it has to be sustainable. One of the main interventions and successes of SIFI has been in the line of advocacy. And we should be very proud that after 45 years, we as an industry have really come together and worked together to help our people. I think that we should congratulate ourselves and at the same time challenge ourselves to do more.
SIFI has become its mission of being a professionally run, apolitical, progressive social development umbrella foundation capable of initiating, developing, promoting, and funding projects for sugar workers of its member organizations, their families, and the communities they are part of. SIFI will continue to offer the gift of futures and the realization of dreams. 45 years of empowering lives and still pushing forward.